I'm doing a series on Atari classics, and I want to know if you remember Battlezone. I'll never forget starting it up and hearing that intro music for the first time. Battlezone released in 1980 for the arcades, and I didn't know this until much later, but it originally had a very different look. The arcade cabinet utilized wireframe vector graphics to construct the very first true 3D video game with a first-person perspective. Although this tech hasn't been used for new video games in decades, there's something about it that still looks impressive even today. Now, the version I played didn't come to the Atari 2600 until 1983, and it was several more years before I discovered it. It didn't have true 3D graphics like the arcades, but it did have color, and the way it animated the terrain and the enemies that would grow larger as they approached did give it a sense of depth that very few other Atari games could convey. As you can see, you're in control of a battle tank, and it's your job to shoot down any enemies you come across before they can shoot you. Most of your adversaries were just other tanks, but occasionally you come across a UFO for some reason. There were also these terrifying things that would close in on you way faster than anything else. What is this, a plane? Whatever it was, it sounded like a nightmare. The box art was epic, but pretty straightforward. Unlike most other game art, it gave you a really good idea what you were in for. Anyway, if you like the old classics, this was one of my top 3 as a kid. It absolutely blew me away in the late 80s.